Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So I'm going to invite you to find a comfortable position, some place that your spine is nice and long so you can focus on your breath moving through your body. Good morning. And as you settle in, you could place your hands on your body if that helps you, or just put them in a comfortable position and take a few long, smooth breaths. So breathing in, noticing the changes in your body as you're breathing, and breathing out, and noticing how your body feels. So just kind of scanning and noticing anything that pops out. And thinking about how you want to feel when we're done with practice today. Right? So noticing how you're feeling in this moment, thinking about how you'd like to feel, and setting your intention in whatever way you do that. And then whenever you're ready, releasing your hands, placing them on your legs or the floor, and you're going to make little circles with your body. And I want you to notice, the low back, the pelvis, the hips as you're moving. After a couple of circles, pausing and going in the other direction. And you might notice I put my hands on my body because that helps give me more information, but you're doing what feels good to you. And again, we're going to come to a place where we pause. We're going to stretch out our legs with a little bit of a wide angle. And then I just want you to point and flex your feet. And maybe roll through your ankles a little bit, a couple times in each direction. And then we're going to find those tennis balls and just bend your knees a little bit. And we're going to put them. So a lot of times we do this with our legs closer together, but I wanted to do them wide today. And then you're going to straighten out your legs a little bit, and then with your pelvis moving front to back, or with your legs moving side to side, and you're kind of feeling like you're not sitting on the tennis balls, you're feeling how it feels to have a little bit of weight pressing into the tennis balls, noticing your hamstrings, adjust your tennis balls however you need to. And then you're going to straighten your legs to whatever straightness, for lack of better words coming to my head, and take your hands in front, and we're going to just lean forward a little bit, but come forward with your heart and not like you're trying to reach your head forward. So kind of inhale up, exhale a little bit forward. And if it's really uncomfortable, get rid of the tennis balls or move them forward, okay? Now, one of these times when you come up, we're going to take those tennis balls and we're going to put them to the sides of your pelvis, right? So you kind of lift, but again, you're not sitting on them. And again, having your legs a little bit wide. And your feet may or may not come to the floor, right? Your toes, like with your knees bent. And what I want you to do is just take one leg and bring it in towards the center. And if you're not hitting the tennis balls, you might push them in a little up. I think that my brain is working faster than my mouth can move today. But luckily, you'll all get the information some way. Now from here, we're going to take those tennis balls, and I want you to put them to your back, but have them a little bit wider, right? So like however wide your pelvis is, just place them kind of towards the edges and lean back a little bit. And you can have your hands or your elbows on the ground. And then moving your knees side to side and or your hip, your front to back. Now, when you feel like you've had enough of that, because some of you might want to stay there longer, we're going to take the tennis balls out, and I'm going to invite you to safely get yourself down to the floor. And here, I want you to place the tennis balls at the top of your shoulders. And remember that you want to stay off your spine, right? So you're going to have the tennis balls on either side of your spine. So when you lay down, if you have long hair, you're going to make sure it doesn't get stuck in the tennis balls. And then you might just rest there for a minute. You might want to move your arms a little bit. Or you might want to move your body back as the tennis balls make their way down your spine. Now, for some of you, those tennis balls may be too hard. And if that's the case, you can come to the wall and just use one tennis ball at a time. But it looks like you're all doing okay. And you're breathing and noticing how your body feels as you breathe. And again, you might want to move. Most important part, though, is to, you want to stay where there's structure, so don't go below your rib cage, and please stay off your spine. Now, as you're exploring here, just kind of noticing how things feel. See if you can invite your body to soften around the tennis balls, to let go of any tension that you might be feeling in any of your muscles or anywhere else. And then we're going to finish up doing that in about, 30 seconds or so. So see if there's any part that you might have missed. And then when you start to feel done, I'm going to invite you to roll over onto your side and make your way onto your hands and knees. And if you're like me, you might like to have a little blanket under your knees, or you might not. So we're going to come onto our hands and knees, and at first, I just want you to have your wrists slightly in front of your shoulders, knees a comfortable distance apart. We're going to keep our elbows straight, and I want you to see if you can drop your chest towards the ground. So not arching your back, but just dropping the chest and lifting up, keeping your elbows straight. Just kind of notice how that feels in your upper back body. And then one of these times when you're up, engaging your abdominals so that your back is flat and not arched. And we're going to inhale up here, exhale down towards child's pose. And just move with your breath, inhaling up, exhaling down. Now, one of these times when you come up, we're going to take the right hand and put it forward slightly, right? And so just find your balance there, because we're going to be taking the left hand off of the ground. And I want you to look at your left hand and start to reach it up towards the sky. So that's your inhale. Exhale, you're going to start to come down towards the ground with your left shoulder. So you're inhaling up, exhaling down. I like to bend my right elbow as I come down towards the ground. I'm doing that a couple of times. And then one of these times, if it feels good, I want you to settle towards the ground. Maybe your ear and shoulder come to the ground. Maybe your right elbow is bent. I'm just taking a few breaths. You can open up your chest a little bit more if you want by pressing your right hand into the ground and opening up the chest. You can stretch through. your right leg if that feels good. So just exploring and seeing, like, does it feel good to stay? Do you want to move? And on one of your inhales, when you're ready, we're going to slide on out. And just noticing how that feels. And then when you're ready, walking the left hand forward a little bit, looking at your right hand and starting to, again, reach up on the inhale, exhaling, coming down towards the ground. Moving a few times if that feels good. And again, eventually coming down towards the ground with your shoulder and maybe your ear. Bending the left elbow, gently pressing those left fingers into the ground, opening up your chest a little bit. Maybe stretching out the left leg. Just continuing to breathe. And again, on one of these inhales, we'll come back to the center. And we're going to stretch out the right leg. And so not bringing it higher than your hip and just flexing that foot and pressing with your foot. And then taking the opposite arm and reaching it forward. Vision stays towards the ground. Just breathing and really reaching with your fingers and pressing with your foot that's lifted. On one of your exhales, taking the hand and the knee to the ground, coming into child's pose. And then on the inhale, coming up, we'll stretch out the left leg and press with that foot. And then finding your balance, engaging your core, then extending the right arm. So fingertips reaching forward, foot pressing back. Vision towards the ground, you're still breathing. And then whenever you're ready on an exhale, hand and knee come down to the ground, coming into child's pose. And then from here, we're going to come into a kneeling position. So whenever you're ready, bringing yourself up. Already I can feel a little heat. So here, we're going to move with a little sound, if you like, and we do the sound on the exhale. So you can either listen, do it in your head, or do it out loud. And the sound that we'll use today is Om. So most of you know that sound. So we'll start with our hands at our heart center. The inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, Om to child's pose. Inhale up to tabletop, slide your hands forward a little bit, turn your toes under, exhale into down dog. Inhale forward into a plank or an up dog or tabletop if you prefer. And again, exhale into down dog. Inhale into tabletop. Exhale into down dog. Oh, no. And then inhale, tabletop, knees come down. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, reach for the sky. And exhale, hands to the heart center. We're going to do that again and adjust as you need to. If you prefer tabletop to plank, or if you prefer child's pose to down dog, you do what feels good in your body. Okay, inhaling, reaching for the sky. Child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank into up dog or tabletop. Exhale. Child's pose. Tabletop. Turn those toes under, down dog. Plank into up dog. Exhale, down dog. Knees come down. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, reach for the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center. And just pause for a moment. Notice how you're feeling, and when you're ready, we're going to come up to standing and find a tennis ball for your feet. So, for those of you who don't use sound often in your practice, just kind of notice what that did. Some of the things I notice about using sound, it helps me to breathe longer, right? Like slowing me down a little bit. And I like the vibration of the sound. So just, kind of notice if you feel anything in your throat or your head or any place. Just roll those feet.
They need new tennis balls.
Are they too soft?
I think.
You need to dig, because mine are hard.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Seems like let's get the beater
You have to
ones.
kind of squeeze them when you hit them.
Oh.
But you might be right. I think we're getting down towards the bottom of the basket. All right, so if you haven't switched feet, please make sure that you do. I like them squishy. You two should switch. Now, whenever you feel done with both feet, we're going to put those tennis balls off to a safe place. And then make your way towards the front of your mat. And we're just going to move through the toes for a minute. So take your big toes down, little toes up, and then switch them, little toes down, big toes up. And know it's okay if they don't totally cooperate. And just do that a couple times, switching big toes and little toes on the ground, and keep breathing. Now, this last time, we're going to take the big toes down, little toes up, and then try to get those pinky toes down to the ground, keeping the 3 up in the middle. And breathe. Now, very carefully, we're going to flatten the feet and grab a wall if you feel unsteady. We're going to come onto the top of the foot so that you're stretching the front of the foot, the front of the ankle. Keep breathing. And do the second side. And then relaxing that foot down to the ground and bringing your arms down to your sides. So here, moving with your breath, your feet can stay flat, you can come up onto your toes. We're going to start to inhale up and exhale down. You can take your arms up as high as they want to go. Finding your balance and moving evenly with your breath. And I know we do this often because it really is a nice waker-upper in your body and your energy. One more time. And the next time you come down, I just want you to walk your feet maybe as wide as your mat. And we're going to interlace the fingers, if this works for your shoulders, and then take your palms up towards the sky. If that doesn't work for you, palms pressing towards one another. And I want you to inhale as you reach over, press away with your hands, press down with your feet. Back to the center, and then second side. Trying to keep your legs, your body, and your arms in a line so you're not falling forwards or backwards. And one more time on each side. And when you come back through the center, we're going to release the arms down, roll through those shoulders a couple times. Inhaling up, exhaling, taking them back. Now, with this one, so our feet are a little bit wide, I want you to inhale your arms up, and we're gonna exhale into a wide-legged chair, right? And then inhale up and exhale back down. And if it doesn't work with your arms, you can keep them on your thighs. Just moving with your breath. Now, next time you come down into your chair, make sure it's comfortable on your low back, your core is engaged. We're gonna bring the hands down to your hips or your thighs. What I want you to do is just come up onto your left toes, or right, it doesn't matter, we're gonna do both sides. Bring them down to the ground, second side. And then when that heel comes down, we're gonna attempt to lift both heels off the ground. I like my arms in front for balance, but you have them wherever you want them to be. And then carefully bring those heels down, inhale, and on the exhale, you're gonna take your hands onto your thighs, come down into a forward bend, hands on the ground or on a block. And then I just want you to reach your hips from side to side, right? Your feet are flat on the ground, your hands on the floor or on a block, and you're just moving your hips side to side. Noticing how that feels, continuing to breathe. And then from here, keeping your hands on the floor of the blocks, we're gonna inhale with straight legs, exhale, bend your hips, your knees, and your ankles. Inhale, straighten legs, your elbows stay straight. You're just bending through your hips, and your ankles, and your knees. Now here, I want you to think about your balance, because we're gonna keep, and you might walk your feet about hip width apart if they're feeling too wide for you. We're gonna take the weight into the right foot and reach that left leg behind us. So adjust where your placement is for your hands, your weight, and we're not taking it up, way up towards the sky, but just maybe parallel with the floor. And then we're gonna inhale here, exhale, you're gonna reach your knee towards your head. Inhale, extend, exhale, bend. Just kind of noticing you're moving slowly with your breath, noticing how it feels in your body. Next time your leg extends, bring it down to the ground. Shift your weight into your left foot. Take that right leg up. And again, just pausing here for a moment, noticing how it feels in your body. Whenever you're ready, inhale with the leg extended, exhale, knee towards the head. Moving with your breath. And again, next time that leg is extended, we're going to return it to the floor. Bring your hands onto your legs. Inhale, slide on up. We're down there for a little bit, so making sure you're not too dizzy. When you get up to the top, one more time, rolling through those shoulders. And then having your feet a comfortable distance apart, we're going to bend the knees a little bit and just gently swing side to side. Now eventually, I'm shaking out my hands because it feels good. You can shake your hands out if you want to. Now here, we're gonna take our weight, and we did this the other day. I want you to take your weight into your right leg and bring your left leg out to the side with that foot flexed. And then we're gonna cross it over the front of our body and bring it back out to the side. And feel free to grab onto a wall or a chair if you're at home. Moving with your breath. And next time the leg comes out to the side, we're going to return it down to the floor. Shifting your weight into your other foot, taking that leg out to the side. Again, finding your balance, and then whenever you're ready, crossing over your standing leg. None of us said balance today. Why are we doing this? And once that leg is extended, one more time down to the ground. And here, before we move on to our next thing, I want you to bring one arm forward, one arm back on the inhale, come up onto your heels if that feels safe. And then possibly hands come overhead or they stay at shoulder height. And next time you finish your second side, just pausing for a moment. And you're towards the front of your mat. If you like to have blocks when you do lunges, you'll have them up towards the front. So we're going to inhale, reach towards the sky, exhale into your forward bend. Taking your hands onto your legs, inhaling halfway up, exhaling in towards your legs. Next inhale, let's take the right foot back into a nice deep lunge. And here, again, I want you to find your balance. We're going to lift the toes of the front foot off the ground. And then you're going to slowly start to straighten that leg. And then you're going to release your toes down to the ground. And notice what's happening in your right foot and your left foot. And then very carefully lifting up your toes on the front foot and bending that knee, coming forward. And then your foot comes down to the ground. From here, we're going to step that back foot forward. Take your left foot back. And again, get yourself into a comfortable lunge, hands on blocks of the floor. We're going to lift the toes on your front foot. And then slowly start to straighten that front leg. And again, gently bring those toes down to the ground. Very carefully lifting the toes up off the ground, bending that front knee, and then gently bringing your toes down to the ground. From here, we're going to take that back heel towards the ground. And so you have your right knee is bent in the front, the back foot is at an angle, your right hand is on the ground. We're going to inhale up with that left arm and open up your chest. Keep breathing. Now stay with me here. You could have a block under your hand, right? We're going to come up to Warrior Two, for those of you who know who that is, right? Bring your left arm back, right arm forward. Vision over that front hand. On an inhale, we're going to take your left hand down to the leg and reach that right arm up and come back into a reversed warrior. Keep breathing. On an inhale, we're going to unwind, come back to our Warrior Two. We're going to bring both our arms up in line with our ears, pivot up onto your back toes. And then we're going to lift that back leg off the ground. So you can keep your arms extended out to the sides or on your hips. You're going to, on an inhale, lift that leg up. And then come into Warrior Three. And you could have your hands on the bar as you do this. Then we're going to bring that foot down to the ground. Bring those hands to the heart center. Take a breath. How are we doing? Too much? Nobody's going to answer me. Okay. We're going to inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale down into your forward bend. Hands onto the legs. Inhale halfway up. Exhale in towards your legs. We're going to take the left foot back this time. And so here, again, we're going to pivot that back heel to the ground. Left arm is going to stay on the floor of the block. Right arm comes up towards this. Oh, wait, no, wrong way. Am I saying the wrong arm? It's your left arm is coming towards the sky. Now, again, when you're ready, you're going to come up into a Warrior Two, so that front knee stays bent. Your vision is over your front hand. Opening up your palms, inhaling, reverse warrior. So nice. We're going to inhale up again and come into Warrior One. And And then again, think about where you want your arms to be. We're gonna pivot up onto those back toes. Inhale, lift up, find your balance. Exhale, come forward. And whenever you start to feel complete, bringing that foot down to the ground. Hands to your heart center. Taking a breath. And just checking in. How's your heart rate, your body temperature, your breathing? We're going to bring the hands onto the thighs after you've checked in. Inhale, body up, exhale, halfway down. And here, we're going to stay here for a minute. Maybe not a minute, a moment. And you could bring your hand to the wall, so you could be facing the wall and bring your hand to the wall. We're going to extend the left arm out and turn your head to the right. And then you're going to bring that hand down and do the second side. Now, if it's too much on your back, you can do this standing up. Right? So finding that place that works for you, moving with your breath. Inhale as you extend and turn the head. Exhale back to center. And next time you finish your second side, we're going to have both hands on the legs. Inhale. Exhale into your forward bend. And then inhale all the way up. And bring those hands to your heart center. Connect for a moment with your breath and your body. And then from here, I want you to attempt, and you can release your hands and put them wherever you want, even a wall, just not your neighbor. You're going to attempt to lift the front of your feet off of the ground. I like to do one and then invite the other one to join. And just find your balance. And then I want you to find a tennis ball. And we're going to place it under your right heel. And you want a little yellow sticking out, and you want all four points of your foot to connect base of the big toe, base of the pinky toe, both sides of the heel. So all your weight is going to be in that right leg. We're going to come up onto the left toes and just pivot through that leg. So your whole leg is turning, you're checking out your hips, noticing how that feels, and we're going to keep the knee pointed out to the side and bring your heel in towards your ankle. Hands can be at your heart center, wherever it's most comfortable. Now possibly you're going to stay here or start to slide that foot up your lower leg. So we're coming into some form of vrikshasana or tree. And then some of you may even want to extend your arms up overhead, but do what is safe and appropriate for you today. Hands back to the heart center. Knee comes forward, foot slides down. We're going to switch to the left foot. And again, take time to get yourself set up. Smushing that tennis ball, all your weight in the left leg, base of the pinky toe and big toe, both sides of the heel. Hands to your heart center as you come up onto your right toes and start to pivot that whole leg. One of these times, leaving that knee pointing out, bring your heel in towards your ankle. And again, this could be the perfect pose today, where you might start to slide your foot up. Again, if appropriate today, you may take your arms up towards the sky. Keep breathing, no matter what. Hands come back down to the heart center, knee comes forward, foot comes down onto the ground. You're going to come off of that tennis ball, and actually I want you to get 2 tennis balls. And just like we were trying to do before, lifting the front part of our foot, I want you to place the padded part under your toes on the tennis balls. And then try to smush them a little bit. So not all your weight is in your heels. And then we're going to inhale, body up, exhale, let your knees bend. Your hips are going to bend as well, right? It's kind of an awkward position because we don't walk with our toes up. So you're going to inhale up, exhale, bend. But it's a nice stretch for the front of your lower legs and the sides. My favorite muscle, if you all must need to know, the anterior tibialis right out here. Don't know why I like it so much, but I do. Okay, one more time. And when you come forward this time, we're going to stay here, and I want you to see if you can find comfort in the low back and in your abdominals, as well as in your legs. And then on an inhale, we're going to come up, come on off of those tennis balls, put them off to a safe place. And then I thought we might try a little bit of fun today. You don't have to do anything. Okay, so we're going to inhale up. We're going to come down, take our hands onto the ground. Now last time we did crow pose. This time we're going to do a different pose. So you're going to walk your feet up towards your hands, bend your elbows, and place your hamstrings, the back of your thighs, onto your triceps. All right, some of you might not physically be able to do that because of how your body's made, right? And then you're going to attempt to walk your feet forward and lift them up off of the ground. You're like, this is too pretzeling. And then very carefully, you're going to bring your feet down, walk them out, take your butt down to the ground. That was awesome. Thanks for trying things out with me. You never know until you try, right? Then you're going to bring your right arm forward and holding onto your hand, not your fingers, just stretch the front of your wrist. Because for many of us, that's wrist intensity. Is that a little bit fun? Mm-hmm. Just a little. All right. So this next set of poses that we're going to do, we're going to need a strap. I think many of you have done this with me before because it is one of my favorite all-time hip and pelvis exercises. So we're going to come down onto our back safely, and you're going to start out with your knees bent. And then we're going to take the strap on the padded part of the left foot. So your right knee is bent and your left leg is perpendicular to the floor, if that's how your body works. So we're not stretching it towards us or away from us. And here you're going to open the right knee out so you come onto the pinky toe side of the right foot. Open that knee out to the side. And then you're going to pivot the left leg. So you're just turning it. You're not stretching it in a particular way. Nope, keep it straight up and pivot the foot out as if you walked like a duck. Right? And hopefully the rest of the leg follows the foot. And we're going to hold each pose for, 45 to 60 seconds. So you're going to look for a comfortable place in each of these positions that we go into. Now from here, we're going to bring your left leg to neutral, bring the right knee up. You're going to walk that right foot out a little bit, and then drop your right knee in towards the center. And then you're going to take that left foot and pivot it so that as if you walked with your toes towards the center instead of straight forward or out. But you're going to try to keep that leg perpendicular to the ground. Try to keep your foot flat. You might feel muscles that you're not used to connecting with. And you're still breathing, and again, looking for that comfortable place. So knees going in, leg is perpendicular and pivoted towards the center. Now we're going to bring that leg back to neutral, bring your right knee up, and then walk that foot in a little bit. We're going to take both straps into the right hand. You're going to lift up your right foot, reach around your left leg, and try to find your right foot. Other hand. And then some of you will be able to bring your knee down, some of you might not, and then just let go of the foot. And then we're gonna cross the left leg over the body. Don't let it drop. You're in control. You're using the strap to support your leg. You're gonna bring it over as far as you comfortably can. And then you're gonna press with your left buttock as if you're trying to make your torso long and push your butt towards the front of the room. And you're gonna keep breathing. Again, looking for a comfortable place, relaxing the head and shoulders on the ground. You are amazing. Now, very carefully, we're gonna bring that leg up, let go of your foot, bring your right foot to the floor. We're gonna take the strap off and just notice how you feel from side to side. And you could have your legs bent or straight here, where you're just exploring how it feels in your body. And you might, I like to kind of move my hips a little bit here. You're gonna explore and see what feels good. And then we're gonna take the strap on the padded part of the right foot. And again, your leg is perpendicular to the ground. Your left knee is bent. We're gonna start off by opening the left knee out to the side. You come onto the pinky toe. And then pivoting your right leg open. So the foot turns out. This is I always think of a duck here, I don't know why, or a penguin. And relaxing, softening, looking for comfort and ease in the pose. We're going to pivot back towards the center with the leg and the foot. Walk your left foot out now. We're going to drop that left knee in towards the center. And then, again, keeping your right leg perpendicular, you're going to pivot the whole leg and foot towards the center. When I was a kid, they used to call this knock-kneed, when people walk like that. And again, just breathing and softening, comfort and ease. We're going to come back to neutral. And this is where you're going to take both straps into the left hand. Lift up the left foot. Try to find your left foot with your right hand. Bring that left knee down to the ground. And then ever so slowly start to cross that left leg across the right leg across the body. You're controlling it by holding onto your strap, relaxing the head and shoulders, breathing, and then once you're in your position, pressing away with that top hip, trying to reach your butt towards the front of the room, lengthening through your torso, still breathing. And whenever you're ready, slowly lifting that leg, releasing your foot, taking the strap off, bringing both feet to the ground. Hopefully everybody's feeling good through their pelvis, hips. So here we are, we have our knees bent, feet flat on the ground. And what I want you to do, lots of ways to do this next pose, but we're gonna bend the elbows and make fists with our hands. On the inhale, we're gonna press down with our elbows and our feet and lift up your hips and your chest. And then exhale, bring your hips down to the ground. Inhale up, exhale down. Moving with your breath, using those elbows and your triceps to help lift the chest up and open up your chest. Next time your hips come to the ground, hopefully everybody has access to a block close by. I didn't tell you to have one earlier, so sorry about that. So finding a block, and we're going to place it under your pelvis, so not on your spine at all. And then we'll take the feet off of the ground. And of course, if you don't have a block or if it doesn't feel comfortable, you can have your low back on the floor. We're gonna lift the legs up towards the ceiling. Now I want you to take your thumbs to the top of your thighs where the crease is, where your body comes to your thighs, and I want you to move your thighs away from your body a little bit. Does that make sense to everybody? Hope so. Now we're going to inhale with the legs away from the body. Exhale, take those legs towards your body, using your thumbs to press your thighs slightly away. Inhale, legs away. Exhale, moving them towards your body. Different way to do a forward bend. Now, next time your legs come away from the body, we're going to carefully bend our knees, take one foot to the floor at a time. We're going to lift up your butt and take the block out from under your body. We're going to stretch the arms overhead and extend your legs on the floor. So just like you're standing up with your arms overhead. Inhale is here. Exhale, you're going to lift your legs up, bring your arms down to the ground. Inhale, extend. Now, if that doesn't work for you, just bend your knees. Right? You can do this with bent legs or have your legs straight. Inhale, extended. Exhale, coming towards the center. Now, for those of you who practice plow pose, one of these times, or halasana, depending on what words you use, you're going to inhale and bring your legs overhead. And if that's not part of your practice, then you're going to continue to move in the way that we were before. And in plow pose, it's not a dynamic pose, we just hold the pose. And your legs may or may not come down to the ground. Keep breathing, and then very carefully, you might take your hands to your back, bend your knees, and gently roll back down to the floor. Bringing your feet down. Knees are bent, arms stretched out to the side. Inhaling, head and knees to the center. Exhaling, taking your head in one direction, knees in the other. Inhale back to the center, and then second side. Just moving in a way that feels good to you. When you start to feel complete with your twist, I want you to stop and check in with your body and see if there's anything else that your body needs before you make your way into Shavasana. And if you're ready, you're just going to make your way into Shavasana. So check in. Do you need to do anything else? If so, you're going to do it now. And if not, you might want to put on socks or sweatshirt if you have one, and then set yourself up for Shavasana. So checking in, what do I need? Remember, in Shavasana, we want to be as comfortable, warm and comfortable as we can be. As you're finding that quiet place, inviting your mind and your body to soften, maybe using that exhale to help you release. when you're ready, starting to bring your awareness to your breath and your body, noticing how you're feeling today. Now, before you get up, I wanted to do our breathing practice on the ground. Of course, you're always welcome to sit up. And this one we're going to do in a way that you're using your imagination. So we're going to do alternate nostril without using our hands. So as you're laying there, I want you to imagine you're breathing in just through your left nostril, and then breathing out through your right. And breathe in through the right, and out through the left. In through the left, out through the right, and in through the right, out through the left. One more time, breathing in left, out right, breathing in right, and out left. And again, noticing how you're feeling, and then in your own time, starting to safely, gently making your way up into a comfortable seated position. We're going to do something we haven't done in a while, but we're going to rub our hands together, get them warm, and then you're going to cup your hands, and I like to have my knees bent so I can put my elbows on them. You're going to put the heel of your hand onto your cheekbones, and if you have glasses, it'll be easier if you take them off. We're going to place our palms over our eyes. It's called palming. And so I like to put my elbows on my thighs and then cover it. So your eyes are closed. You cover them, the heels of your hands on the cheekbones, fingertips on the forehead, wherever they come to. And your eyes are closed. This can be very soothing with a headache or working on screens too much. Now, what I want you to do is you're going to move your eyes in a clockwise manner. But make sure you keep breathing. So you might inhale, take your eyes up towards the ceiling. Exhale back to the center. Inhale, take your eyes to the right. Exhale back to the center. Inhale, looking down towards the ground. Exhale back to the center. Inhale, eyes to the left. Back to the center. Inhale, eyes up towards the sky. Exhale, back to the center. Inhale, eyes to the left. Back to the center. Inhale, looking down. Exhale, back to the center. And inhale, eyes to the right. Exhale, back to the center. And we're just going to pause for a moment. Whenever you feel like you're ready to remove your hands, I invite you to keep your eyes closed when you remove your hands so it's not so bright. And then as you're ready, slowly opening up your eyes. And though it's very subtle, this can be a very soothing practice for your head and your nervous system. So I want to thank you all for being here, and know that if you ever have any questions about anything that we do or whatever, I'm always here after class, and you can ask me just about anything. And let's close with the planetary healing sound. So inhaling, taking your arms up towards the sky, exhaling the sound Hu to the heart. Inhaling, arms out to the sides, palms open, exhaling the sound Ah to the heart. Ah. and scooping all around you and up from the earth the sound Om to the heart. So I thank you all for being here. I thank all my teachers past and present and acknowledge the lands that I live and work on. Namaste.
Namaste.